Welcome to Dunker's podcast. This is Mark P, and we're live from Abersoch in North Wales. I'm Mark P, and commonly known as the Hoff, and I'm here today with a couple of very special people. Today's guests are a dazzling duo. Nigel, a legendary foot specialist of the Bell surgery, the man who's seen it all: verrucas, warts, athlete's foot, diabetic ulcers, and everything in between. All approached with care, class, and cutting-edge 3D foot scans. Nigel reminds us our feet are our foundation, which makes him nothing short of a Dunker's architect. Morag, calm, sharp, and the only person who could keep Nigel in check and on his toes. Whilst raising 4 boys and becoming the queen of luxury on a shoestring escapes, Morag worked for the BBC.
Granada Television.
Oh, Granada Television. Well, she's just changed channels. So storytelling irrespective is in her blood. But today we're the ones chasing the scoop. Because every time the rest of us are braving the ICC, Morag's just popping away to a 5-star spa for less than the price of a fish supper as well. Supper leaves us all aghast. How'd you do it, Morag? Secret industry trick, ex-Granada sorcery, bribery. Let's find out how this dream team of heels and deals keeps it all going, with a bit of dunking, a dash of style, and a few gems along the way. Nigel, Morag, welcome. Let's dive in.
Thank you.
Morag, how long have you been Abersoch dunking? Abersoch dunking.
Abersoch dunking, coming up for 3 years now.
And
it's absolutely wonderful, exhilarating. If somebody had said to me 3 years ago I would be going in the sea right throughout the year, I would have thought you're having a laugh. And yet now I would never miss it. I absolutely love it.
And Nigel, how did you go from Chorlton Clinic floors to Abersoch sandy shores, and why?
Well, we moved down here in April 2019, but I was still going back to Manchester until September 22. And amazingly, we actually started dunking in October 22 after Morag had met Sue Teague at a Welsh class, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, the RNLI fundraising committee.
Oh, well, I was close. Anyway, so
Wherever you met.
From whatever street corner it was, invited Morag and I to come down, and it becomes very addictive.
It does.
Particularly with your presence there as well, Mark. And we very quickly got into the routine, and particularly, and strangely enough, as it was coming into the winter. So we were getting the last of the warm temperatures in the water in October 22 when we started, as the sea temperature went down. As you know, I like to collect sea temperatures, and very quickly got thermometers to measure this water temperature, and I think that year it went down to 4 degrees.
Yes, let me tell you, our dear listener, Nigel is also, in addition to his other talents, he's our scientist. He's our resident scientist. In fact, I used to call him Biggles because he's got this amazing hat which just looks as though he's come out of the war and bailed out over Abersoch. So, yeah, well, there you go. But he's also our scientist, so there's never a number without Nigel's behind it. So, Morag, describe your first dunking experience.
Well, it's very hard to remember that. It's such a long time ago. But I expect I found the water super cold, thought, what am I doing? But absolutely loved it and have never looked back, really.
Do you have a sort of a post-dip and a pre-dip routine, or do you just roll out of bed and, as Andy says, make the decision from the beach?
Well, I definitely roll out of bed, but Nigel very much has a pre-dip routine whereby he has buckets of water, he has to prepare my breakfast, has to bring me my coffee in bed, and then at that point I get up, get changed, and we head down to the beach.
Pray tell, buckets of water. What for?
Hot water
Nigel?
to wash the
Oh,
sand
hot
out
water.
of all the costumes that we've got covered in sand from the water, and the neoprene boots that are full of sandy water and God knows what else. So yeah, I get up and get all that ready so that we can enjoy a nice leisurely swim with you good people on the beach. Yes, it was quite a sharp induction to the winter in 22 when we started, but you very quickly become addicted to it. And above all, it's the camaraderie that goes with the swimming, which is
Yeah.
great exercise. And as your previous podcasts have pointed out, it's very, very good for you from the point of view of your health. And we realised that immediately, and all you good people filled us in on the details of that, advised us about all the kit that we needed to get. So I never thought I'd be seen dead walking around in a
Neoprene
dry coat
booties.
and neoprene booties and all the rest of the kit that we
Can I
dared
s-
mention on camera.
Can I say how very fetching they look as well? There we go. Yes.
And one aspect that appealed to me, I read that cold water swimming activated brown fat, which meant you use more calories, and as a result, you lost weight. All I can say is nearly 3 years later, I'm still waiting for it to find my brown fat.
Well,
But I'm trying.
stick with it, Morag. You'll get there. You'll get there. Yeah. I think you touched on something, one of you, just about the community. And I think the
Yes.
community is, as you'll know from the previous podcast that I've done, it's really, really strong. I think
Yes.
people,
Very
because a lot of us, I don't know about yourself, but a lot of us, we'd been down here since 12. We knew people, but only at a distance. But since 20, COVID wasn't all bad. A lot of it was bad, but it wasn't all bad because it did allow us to sort of broaden our perspectives with places to go and different people we were coming across. And the community is so important.
The
Yeah.
community is incredible. I mean, I think for us, I very much see coming to live here was one chapter of your life closing and a new chapter opening. And Dunking for us has allowed us to meet this wonderful group of people, make lovely friends. And we wouldn't have had that if we hadn't joined the group, really. And it's the fact that we have conversations about everything and anything. We talk about family, we talk about travel, we talk about this week, for instance, who to get your nails done with, koala bears, kangaroos. I was talking about that this week at the cafe. It's amazing the topics of conversation
And
that we have.
the cafe is
And the
equally as
cafe is a
important, isn't
massive
it?
part
That
of
walk
it.
after the
The
dunk.
walk
Yeah.
afterwards, the fact you've done 4,000 steps before 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It sets you up for the day. Then you go and have your coffee and your almond croissants, and it's just could not be better. I feel incredibly blessed that we're part of it all. It's very, very special.
So what was life before? I'll come to Nigel in a minute because I do know a wee bit about his life before, but what was your life before? I mean, not that when you worked at the BBC, but when you worked at Granada, yes. I was
swearing at you.
I was coming to
that.
What was my life
Yeah,
like
what was
before?
your life before
Well,
here?
here,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we started Dunking.
Yeah.
I think we arrived here and bought a property which needed renovation. So our life was very much taken up with builders and renovating the house. Then COVID arrived. We didn't really know anybody, but we got out. We did lots of walking.
Yeah.
And of course, we travelled a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which is where you got your penchant for easy deals or great
absolutely,
deals.
Absolutely.
So even before that, because you raised 4 boys. So where was this? Where were you when you raised 4 boys?
Well,
Whereabouts?
we lived in Wilmslow, had the 4 boys, but all our summers for 20 years were spent in Abersoch in our caravan.
Okay.
So the boys were brought up here. They worked in the sailing club, 2 of them as teenagers. They spent their lives swimming out on the water. So Abersoch is a huge part of their lives. And now they live in London, they live in York, Congleton, but they all love coming back here.
Do they? It didn't
Yeah.
put them off at all? No.
Definitely didn't.
Do you think
put them off.
any of them will actually make the home here eventually?
Who knows?
No.
Not with Article 4, because we won't be allowed to leave our house to them now, will we?
No. You'll have to have a trust fund and give them all a piece of it. Yeah.
But my life's always revolved around the sea because, of course, I was born on a lighthouse in Shetland on the edge of a cliff.
Oh,
with
wow.
rolling seas all around me. Yes.
You were actually born in a lighthouse?
Actually born on a lighthouse.
Okay.
It's where the Brea tanker smashed against the rocks.
Really?
In 1992 when they got water in the fuel lines.
And clearly Morag's lighthouse wasn't working at that point, was it?
That was long after I was born.
Long after you were there. But.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
So all my life has been spent by the sea.
No. It was you were just born then, weren't you?
Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she is only that
age. Yeah. So that obviously has got quite a memory for you. I mean, to be born in a lighthouse is quite awesome, really. There's not many people that can put that on the CV.
I've lived on lighthouses.
Oh, did you? You did?
Yes,
did you?
yes.
Was your father a lighthouse keeper then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So every 5 years, he would get moved to a new station. So we lived on Isla in the Hebrides, and we lived at Douglas Head Lighthouse on the Isle of Man.
Oh, right.
Which had its own little jetty. So my school friends and I, we would all swim off there. Brilliant. And we had our own little beach. It was just magical,
you've been dunking for years, haven't you? Yeah. And how did you two meet? Were you in a boat and you were cast upon the rocks?
No, I didn't run up the beach with a horned hat on and waving a sword around. No, I'd lived in Mumslow for years with my parents, and then when they retired down to the south coast of England, I moved across to a multi-occupancy house in Sale, South Manchester, and Morag was already living there in one of the flats. And we met up there, and
I thought he looks nice.
Oh, did you?
And here we are, 50 years later.
Let's be honest, Morag. You didn't have a lot of choice in the lighthouse, did you?
Yeah, she was always turning the lights on and off and walking around in circles. Can you believe it?
I bet you could see well in the dark, though.
Yeah. When the lights were on, yeah.
Right.
But, yes, that's how we met.
Okay.
And our lives evolved from there. We quickly got together as a couple and married 3 years later.
And so when did the bell surgery come about?
Well, I was in a sales job in Manchester at the time, in the mid-70s, and I decided that wasn't going to be for me long term. So I looked around for other things to do, and funnily enough, somebody else walked into that multi-occupancy house in Sale, who was a podiatrist.
What was it, the YHA? Or YMCA or whatever it is? God, there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
yeah, it was. It had about 6 flats, didn't it?
Well, when I lived there, it was 5 boys and me.
Oh, really?
Oh, surprised you got a look in, Nigel.
So, I took up podiatry after the influence of these people, and Morag had got a good job then at Granada Television as PA to the financial director, wasn't it? And so she carried all the bills, and I went back to university at Salford and studied podiatry for 3 years full time. So I gave up the job that I had, and bizarrely, on the day that I qualified in podiatry, that company went out of business on the day I qualified. I
Really?
couldn't believe the coincidence, and it justified what I'd done.
Sure.
Some years before to leave them and go and pursue a professional career, which is what I wanted. And so I set up the bell surgery in 1986, I think it was, and built it up from there, from ground level upwards.
Podiatry, chiropody, same thing? No?
Yes, it's
Is it?
podiatry is the American word for chiropody, which they dropped in the 1950s and were forever trying to persuade the public to change over to using the term podiatrist, and they're still doing it now.
Are they?
Yes, I think both titles have been protected by law after a long fight by the podiatrist group, and so we are now have a protected profession, title-wise.
But we started the practice, didn't we? We bought this old Victorian building which was full of bed sits.
And it was inhabited by drunks, and I had to get rid of them because they all had no written contracts.
Right.
The previous owner had never given them a written contract to stay there. So I had to quietly persuade them that the roof was falling in or the floor was needing repaired. And after 3 years, I managed to get the most of them out, but not all of them. That took another 8 years of persuasion and fun and games, with things like three-piece suites being thrown out of upstairs windows because they wanted a new one, and people keeping lead weights behind the door in case the owner, me, came up and challenged him as to why they'd not paid the rent. So it was quite interesting times.
Yeah, it was
But we
obviously
got there.
we clearly
We cleared it out, and we eventually made 6 or 7 treatment rooms. So we had a variety of services working there.
Yeah.
It worked very well.
Yeah,
And that's what we sold on in 2022. It took quite a while to get it there because I wanted the right person to take over from me, and I'd identified that person in 2015. But due to his personal circumstances and COVID, it delayed it for 7 years, which on reflection actually worked very well in our favour.
I was going to say,
financially.
yeah.
And when the time came, all the people that had been with me for 30 years stayed with him and gave him an instant income the minute he walked in through the door.
Oh, nice.
But he'd
Isn't
already
that what
got
you
another
want?
place in Oldham.
Okay.
And I knew him and his father, who'd set the practice up there in Oldham, and he just wanted somewhere on the south side. So he got that from me, and off he's gone and done very well with it.
Very good. A question: are podiatrists bound by, is it called the Hippocratic Oath that doctors are? So if somebody's verruca bursts at 35,000 feet in an aircraft, are you sort of called in to help them and settle them down, or you don't? I'm just thinking in the same way that people might keel over on an aeroplane, then a doctor is on call. Would you be under that sort of
No, I
oath?
don't think we work in the same way that you're referring to.
No.
Yes, there are podiatrists working in the health service and have done for many, many years, but I don't think it works the same way that you're inferring.
Right.
No.
It was just a sort of a left field question, because we come across so many doctors one way and another, some being one, and
Yes,
and these occasions do happen in the aircraft. I just wondered if somebody was really say they'd got venous leg ulcers and they'd got a lot of problem with it, and because they hadn't got their flight stockings and they were in real sort of distress. You clearly
No, I'm not aware of us having any connection with that.
Or responsibility to
responsibility, but
just give them a parachute.
You would. Yeah, you would as a. Yeah, you take the meal off them though before they went out the window.
Yeah.
No, you would. If you're a member of the human race and you could help, then you would obviously want to go and give them whatever assistance you could manage.
Yeah. So Morag, just giving Nigel a rest for a second. Tell us about, how do you get these deals? Because these deals are just unbelievable. All the dunkers, and I'll just sort of set this. I'll just set the scene. There's all these dunkers, and we're all like holidays, and we all try and get away, and we're there in the water, and Morags and Nigel are off somewhere in a 5-star hotel, and they've got it, as I said at the beginning, for the price of 2 cups of coffee. How do you do it?
Where we're going next Wednesday?
Oh yes.
Well,
I won't tell him where we're going next Wednesday.
Actually, I did think there might be a business in this for you, so you could organise these, because you're that good at finding them. How do you find them, Morag?
I think it's just research.
Is it?
It's literally spending hours on the internet. Deciding where we want to go, checking places out. Definitely. Just researching it all.
If you're going from A to B or A to C, and B is a nice stop off overnight, then you'll just sort of check it out.
I'll check it out. I use TripAdvisor a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would review anywhere before I book it. I wouldn't book it without checking first. And I just generally look for deals. I decide somewhere we want to go. We're going off to Rhodes at the end of the month,
Oh,
and
that's
something
nice.
I know. I'm looking forward to relaxing in the sunshine. Although, having said that, there was an earthquake there yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
literally. The
Right.
hotel was shaking. The beds were shaking.
That sets the,
So
that's
it's a slight hiccup, but
Yeah.
we'll go anyway.
Yeah.
But I just found a deal through Facebook on that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
That's
the earth move
I
for
hope
you?
that. Well, it might be moving for you.
Absolutely.
So I do hope the
Quick,
hotel
move
will
on,
be
move
there
on.
at the end of June.
Yeah, I was going to say, just take your bedroll just in case, Morag. Yeah, it's it's all right, because we have wondered whether you've got a fast track to sort of some of these tour companies, and they sort of think,
No,
oh
not
well,
at all.
here's a deal coming up. In actual fact, just as a connection, loose as it may be, I know a couple who live in Liverpool, and they often cruise. And I mentioned to, because it's only sort of, it's quite young. So when I say quite young, mid-50s, yeah, mid to late 50s. And they've been cruising for about 15 years. And I said to him, Pete, because this was when he was early 40s, I said, you're a bit young to go cruising. He said, Mark, we can't refuse them, because a lot of the cruise liners, they'll have refurbs, or they'll go to a particular destination and then they'll come back, but they're not actually sailing from that destination. They're coming back to home port. So in that instance, if you just find ships that have disembarked, say, in the Caribbean, and they've got to come back to, say, Southampton, then the cost of the cruise is for absolute nothing, because all they're doing is running the ship, and you've got 2,000 staff who are amusing themselves for however many days at sea, and they're just, the passengers. And he's told me the prices are just for nothing. They almost get paid for going. So
Wow.
I wondered whether you got the same deal with hotels, but clearly it's...
I would say use the booking sites as well, because quite often they are cheaper than going direct to the hotel, which is bizarre.
Isn't it?
Yeah. For instance, we're going to stay in the Grosvenor in Chester next Wednesday night, because
Okay,
I go
very
back
nice.
to Cheshire to get my hair cut. So
as you do.
it's just an
2.5 hours.
an excuse to have a night away, isn't it? And it was actually
From Nigel. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I'm letting him come too. But it was actually cheaper to book on hotels.com than it was to book direct with the Chester Grosvenor.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I know. It's just crazy, isn't
And
it?
it's a great facility, the Grosvenor, because it's right in the middle of the city.
That's right. Yeah.
And you just walk out there, and Morag's there in the shops before we know it.
I'd heard that was it the Grosvenor Group that had got... I know this is a real left fielder, but hadn't the Grosvenor Group got something to do with the new hotel?
Well, they
T
come
Win,
under...
yeah.
We had heard that.
Yeah, they
yes.
come under Bespoke Hotels. And
Okay.
Bespoke Hotels apparently own
down there.
Tigwin.
Ah,
So,
right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, there we go. So your favouritism for the Grosvenor will be extended down here. You can have a night overnight down here, Nigel.
Undoubtedly, yes. Absolutely. Pack the car up, cases in the back, and off we go down a mile down the road to the Grosvenor's new facility in Abersoch.
Abersoch. If it ever opens.
If it ever, well, yes,
Yeah.
they're on a bit of a go slow, but we won't say any more, because that'll put too much of a dateline on our podcast. I'm going to come back, because a question that has really been in my mind. I looked up a few feet facts before you came on, and I thought, because it was quite interesting. And funnily enough, I was listening to a podcast that I particularly like listening to, and it's the Diary of a CEO. It's quite a good one, and he has business people on, basically. So I was just sort of, I'd got an hour and a half to kill, and lo and behold, the podiatrist happened to be on there, and she was sort of expounding the importance of your feet for your whole mental health and physical health, because of importance. And I picked up that, and you just tell me if I actually got anything like this wrong. Almost a quarter of all the bones in our body are in our feet. 8,000 nerves means it's perhaps the most ticklish part of our bodies, which, yes, listener, he is smiling at that. And there are 250,000 sweat glands, which means 2 feet can produce half a pint of sweat per day. I can't believe that. Is that right?
I think Mark should be a podiatrist.
Does he know more than you?
I know nothing. I don't know any of that.
Oh, well, now I'm going to boast now because I've got a few more written down here. When walking, each foot takes 1.5 times your weight. And when you run, it takes 5 times your weight. I suppose that's about impact, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And foot massage, this is the one I like, improves mood, overall health, and boy, does it feel good.
Well, my wife enjoys it.
Does she?
You have never massaged my feet in your life.
Nigel.
Oh.
No,
Oh, it must be the other woman then.
I was going to say, who looks after your feet? Who looks after your feet, Morag?
Nigel under duress.
Under duress. Okay. And Nigel, who looks after your feet?
Me.
I
wouldn't trust her with a scalpel.
Self-flagellation, is it? Oh, God, no.
Yes, it's a
And
bit
Nigel,
difficult
of
to
course,
get.
is still working on a Tuesday morning here.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
So what's the normal problems? Nail problems, are they? And plantar fasciitis?
Oh, that's a regular. Yes, that comes up frequently. And, can be fairly easily dealt with in most cases. It's quite interesting because it's amazing that you've got a talent to do something that you've been taught at university, and you can help people out fairly straightforwardly, and they can get about their business with ease and less pain. Some things you can cure,
Brilliant.
some things you can help, some things you've got to refer them on to somebody else to deal with. But it's what I always wanted, was to be able to help people with issues that were causing them pain, and here it is. Podiatry is the answer for me.
Yeah. And just on that foot ailments, apparently it also helps cure a pain in the balls or the heels. I long
I
to
can't
think
possibly comment about what you're suffering from.
They must be talking about the feet here. Anyway, I would think so, because women apparently have 4 times more likely to have foot problems compared to men. Would you say that was the ratio with your clients?
Yeah, 4 to 1. Yes, you do tend to see a lot more ladies, females on the couch for treatment. So maybe it's down to footwear.
Yeah.
Maybe other things as well, but perhaps they're on their feet more whilst we're sitting in the lounge chair reading the paper. I better not say much more about that, otherwise I get a slap.
No. Apparently, a daily affirmation has been shown to reduce the associated symptoms of foot pain, including stress. And I wonder whether dunking exposure could be that affirmation on a daily basis. Whether that
good for you, excellent.
Yeah, because that reduces stress, doesn't it, Morag? You were saying earlier on how important it is for you with the community and just
Absolutely.
chilling,
just
chilling.
going in the water, and the fact we go in the sea in all weathers. You're never quite sure what you're going to expect each day, really. You know, you can go in and it's flat calm. You can go in when it's like a washing machine. It's exhilarating.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
The notoriety of the wash tub, isn't it? Yeah.
Who can forget that day when 4 of us went in and the others stood outside because it was too rough. And it was a hell of a bashing around. We got thrown all over the place. I think I was only in for 2 minutes, but I seem to remember you giving me some kind of certificate.
Absolutely.
For going in there. Well, either that, it was a certificate of
survival.
Madness.
Madness.
Yeah, exactly. Do you often? I'm just going to stay on dunking in a moment, because it's the theme of the show. Do you often go wild swimming, i.e., to the lakes or to the rivers? Because obviously you travel a lot. Joking apart, so you'd be exposed to lots and lots of different places. You were in the Isle of Man very recently.
And the sea was absolutely freezing. It was
significantly colder than here.
7 degrees.
No, it's 9 degrees.
But it was 7 degrees cooler than here, because it was 16 degrees here,
cool.
and it was 9 degrees at Port Erin Beach,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah,
absolutely
you really felt
freezing. We really felt the difference, and that's only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah, but you still try and dunk whenever you go.
Yeah, when we
Well,
went to Mallorca in March, we were dunking, and people were there with their coats, their scarves, and they were looking, pointing, the mad English.
Yeah, well,
But it was
it's lovely.
positively warm for us in March compared to here. We were thinking, this is great.
Yeah, they knew you were English 200 meters away, didn't they, Morag?
Yeah.
The only people in the sea or anywhere near it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
great fun. But,
yeah.
no, we've not been in lakes, and interestingly, I did meet some people back in Chalk before I finished there who were telling me that they were swimming in a mere, I think you would call them in Cheshire, alongside the M6 between the A51 and the M6.
It wasn't a builder's puddle, was it?
It could have been. No, I think it was a bit
Dodgy.
bigger than that, but
All
they
right.
were going in full wetsuits. So,
Were they?
yeah,
Wow.
that's more the de rigueur in colder
Yeah,
inland water.
yeah,
And I think you were talking about that.
yeah. I was.
coming off the harbour,
Yeah.
whereas
That's
half a
right.
degree centigrade.
We went in the river
experience.
on one particular day, and it was 0.5. Yeah, so it was.
We went in at Batisakoi, didn't we, one day?
Yes, we did.
When we all
Yes.
went up there.
Yes, we
And
did.
it was very
Yeah.
slippy on the rocks.
Oh, that's right.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that when Charlotte nearly sailed off down
Yes,
the river?
she did. Yes, that's right.
Word
That's
of,
right.
word of
Yeah.
caution to our listener: while swimming's great fun, but do make sure you can get out again.
Well, you're wet.
We really struggled to get out that river. It was the stones were so slippy.
They were,
Yeah.
but we'll do that again. And you're both keen walkers, aren't you, as well?
Yes, we enjoy walking.
Yeah, because the Dunkers have got a walking group called the Strollers, and I know that you both go on lots and lots of walks for that. Is that again just because you can? You've got the time, you've got the energy, really. I guess.
Well, we've liked to do walking. We used to walk in the Lake District with the boys when they were at school, and the headmaster was a very keen Lakeland walker. So we did a lot of the peaks in the lakes. What did Wainwright call them? He had a special name for them. I forget what it was, but it was great to do those. And I remember one day when we were going up Green End, I think it
No,
was.
Great Gable.
Well, close. And
Same set of hills,
some,
isn't it?
some army, some soldiers were coming off, advising us not to go up. And we were taking 9-year-olds up in a howling gale.
They were actually
And we
being
continued
lifted
up.
off their feet, the 9-year-olds. Do you remember?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
one of the boys, we thought he'd got his wet weather gear on, and it turned out his clothes were soaking wet through, and he hadn't got his wet weather gear on. So we all had to stand around him in a circle and try and get some dry clothes on him.
Oh God!
A
Yeah,
long time ago.
those soldiers, did they have wear the SAS badges on their sleeves?
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that. It's it
Sad
takes
and
all
s-
sorts.
Sad and soft, I think we can call that.
So-
SAS.
Seeing as we live so close to somebody who was in the SAS, i.e.,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it's not
risky.
me. It's not
Risky.
me. It's that ventriloquist at the other end of the table, folks.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask two questions now. The first is we're coming to somewhat of a tradition that we offer people the opportunity to answer the question that the previous guest has given to them, and I've got one for you. But before that I'm going to ask a personal question of each of you, and that is, Morag, if there was anybody, dead or alive, who you'd like to go to a dunk with, who would it be?
My father,
Nice.
who actually, despite being a lighthouse keeper and living by the sea all his life, never ever learnt to swim.
Goodness, really?
It was very much a thing up in the islands where they didn't learn to swim, because the view was that if you got into the sea, you got into difficulties, that was it. And in fact, it did happen to his brother. He went out in a fishing boat, and the fishing boat capsized, and he drowned because he couldn't swim.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went
It's a
down quickly.
salutary note, isn't it? Yeah.
He went down quickly.
And Nigel, who, besides the obvious, I'm just thinking what's going through your mind now. Who dead or alive, would you like to go to a dunk with?
Well, I'd go with my mother because she
Oh, would you?
introduced us to dunking when they lived on the south coast, on the Solent, opposite the Isle of Wight. My mum used to go in dunking there with friends. She didn't do it through the depths of winter, but she did it into
Into
November.
November, into her 80s.
in her
Wow.
80s. So,
Yeah.
and that was on shingle beaches, which is why I didn't like that. We didn't have water shoes. We hadn't
No.
come across those at the time.
No.
And she enjoyed that with friends who got beach huts on these beaches. So it was great fun.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And the question that has been set for the two of you by one of our previous guests was, given the water temperature varies, are there times when you don't want to dunk? Or do you just generally think all dunkers are nutters?
I think, despite Andy saying make the decision from the beach, not the bed, there's definitely days when I look out and it's pouring rain and I make that decision from the bed immediately. So I'm not a great
Wise.
one for dunking in the rain, even although we're going to get wet. I don't like walking along the beach and your dry road getting soaked because it takes days to get it to dry.
There we go. Nigel, anything to add?
Well, sometimes I've tried to persuade her to get out of bed, Andy, but it doesn't always work.
Doesn't it always work?
So I'd probably go in more inclement weather, but
Well, as we know from one or two really sort of hurly-burly days that you've
Yes.
been in.
I mean, we have dunked in the rain, and we've
Yeah, of
dunked
course
it.
you have.
We've
I've
dunked
basically
when
done
it's been snowing, I think.
Yeah,
Wasn't-
you
wasn't
have,
there one day
absolutely, yeah,
It
and
was
there was
snowing
snow on
when
the
we were
beach.
all, and snow
Yeah.
on the beach. I think the hardest days are probably the windy days.
Yes.
Because when you come, it's fine when you're in the sea.
Yeah.
It's when you come out, it's just so cold.
But to see the sunrise coming up in the winter days
Ah,
when you're going
it's
down,
incredible.
it's just amazing.
Mm.
And it's fantastic to live here and see that and see the seasons
It's,
and the
it's
camaraderie
the beauty,
that goes with
isn't
it.
it, of where we are.
It is.
The mountains and the sun coming up behind the mountains in the winter as we're going in and the sky turns red. I mean, it's just, you think, how lucky are we?
Exactly.
How lucky
And
are
with
we?
that image in mind, I'd like to say to both of you, thank you very much indeed for spending some time with Abersock Dunkers and the Dunkers on the Dunkers podcast.